Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sajjad Malik. I'm a business and immigration lawyer, a barrister and solicitor in Ontario, Canada, and I'm speaking to you from my office in Oakville, Ontario. Today, I'll be talking to you about a few changes, in fact, 5 changes which the Canadian government has brought up in the last few weeks in the startup visa program or in the startup business program. These changes include that now, number 1, government will enhance the visa processing quota of these applications from 1,000 to 3,500 applications a year, which means that the processing could increase 3 times compared to the previous years. Then it may lead to the reduction of processing times for these visa applications. The second change in this domain, which has recently been brought up, is that instead of 1 year of work permit application in the beginning, an entrepreneur or startup visa founder could apply for up to 3 years of a work permit upfront, instead of applying for 1 year work permit and then later on, after coming to Canada, applying for an extension of work permit. Now, from the very beginning, the entrepreneur or startup founder would be able to apply for a 3 years of work permit. Now, previously, the third change pertains to the open work permit instead of closed work permit. Previously, a startup entrepreneur on a work permit could only work for the same startup company which he had launched and he submitted his PR application for. Now, he could or she could apply for an open work permit, which means that besides working for that particular company, startup company in Canada, this startup founder may also apply based on the open work permit which he or she could secure. This entrepreneur could work for another employer in Canada, and if he's cash strapped or if he needs some support on the financial front, then he may be able to do a job and gather some income from there. And the fourth change in this particular domain in the startup visa class is that now all members of the startup company could apply for an open work permit. Previously, the work permits were only allowed to the essential members of the company, the people who were essential, the founders who were essential for that company. Only those founders could apply for the closed work permits previously. Now, any member of the startup company, regardless of essential or non-essential status, could apply for the open work permit of up to 3 years in the startup business class, in the startup visa class. Now, the last change in this domain which has been announced is that all those startup companies which are supported by a venture capital fund, an incubator which has committed some investment in capital or investment in the company, and an angel investor, those applications would be prioritized. Any startup company where the designated organization is not committing capital, they are not putting in any capital, that may be processed slower compared to those companies which are capitalized or in which capital is injected or provided by an angel investor, by a venture capital, or by an incubator. Their applications would be processed faster and they would be prioritized. Now, I have mentioned these 5 changes, which include the number of quota slots available for these applications would be bumped up from 1,000 to 3,500. One could apply upfront for a 3 years work permit. This work permit could be an open work permit, would be an open work permit. And on this work permit, besides working for the startup, the founder would be able to find another job and work and plug the gap of finances he or she has and could support themselves in Canada. These applications, these work permits would be available to all members, regardless of essential or non-essential status, and all those applications, all those startup companies which are supported by a venture capital fund, by an angel investor, and by an incubator which has committed capital in the startup company would be prioritized. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need any support on the startup visa applications, if you wish to discuss whether you are eligible for this, whether you could avail this program, or if you have any questions on the changes which are upcoming in the few weeks or months, you are most welcome to get in touch. We may schedule a formal legal consultation with you to discuss your specific circumstances, to discuss whether you are eligible for a startup business class, whether you would be able to apply for this kind of a work permit, come to Canada, develop your business, do some other job as well, as enable your spouses to work in Canada on open work permits, and also entitle your children to come to Canada on a study permit while your PR application is being processed. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please press the like button, and please let me know if you have any questions. My contact details is given at the end of this video, and you're most welcome to get in touch. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead.